Hello and welcome to another episode of Success Starts Within. So this week I'm going to be talking to you about something that might be a little bit close to the line, but it is something that I've wanted to talk to you about for a little while because I know some of you listening to this are going to think, oh, okay, this is a little bit awkward to listen to, but without awareness, you can't make a change. And if you are looking to up-level your life, make any changes, do something new, then we do need this awareness. And the awareness starts here. So, sorry, if you can hear a crow, there is a noisy little fucker outside my window and I can't get rid of him. So today I want to talk about how our circumstances are not always an excuse for our reality. So we are very good at blaming people, experiences, situations that haven't gone the way that we wanted to for the way that our life is now. And I'm not discrediting that some people have been in some situations that really have been out of their control and it is manifesting in their current reality. But when you've moved on from that, there is always a way that you can come out of it and you can stop it from manifesting and taking control and having hold of you in your life now. So when I was trying to think of an example of something from my life where I have experienced this, my biggest thing I think today in terms of my business was I blamed having children for not being able to build my business and get out there and get all of the things that I needed to create this company, to make the money and do all the things that I wanted to do for me. And I used to see people online who didn't have children. They would like get up on a Saturday morning, do their makeup, jump on the train, go to a really cool networking event. And I was just at home like thinking, what the fuck do I do today? Chucking it with rain, can't go to the park. We're going to have to go to a soft play and have my day spending in a soft play. And I blamed, that's probably a bit harsh, but I thought, it's because I've got children that I can't do all of the things that I want to do. And of course, that is true. But there are also so many hours in the day that I can do things when the children are at school or they're in childcare. So why was I not utilising my time then and instead spending my energy looking at people going to events that were in the day, by the way, where I could have gone to and telling myself that I couldn't go? Now, the reason for that is because it was a subconscious strategy that had been created to keep me safe. So my subconscious mind did not want me to be going to these networking events because when I go to the networking events, I expand and I grow. And I can feel that in my body and I can feel that in my conscious mind and also sometimes in my subconscious. But my subconscious fears that when I go, I'm going to be a different person and I'm going to force it to come out of its comfort zone. And so it started to create this story and tell me that you don't have the time. You can't go to these networking events. The children are here. The children are in the way. And I also have a very supportive husband. If I said to him, I need to go to this event on Saturday, he'd be like, fine, go. But I wasn't doing that. Instead, I was sat there blaming the children having children, not blaming my children, but blaming having children for not being able to be as present in the business world as I really wanted to be. And when we blame other people or other situations, we get validation and sympathy, not only from others, but from ourselves as well. And then that feeds into our victim mentality. And so it's this repeating cycle that we victimize ourselves. And with that victimization, then gives us permission not to do certain things. And when we've given ourselves permission, then we start to tell ourselves, it's okay that you didn't make that much money because you have children. It's okay that you didn't show up on social media this week because you've got children. It is okay for you to not go out to this networking event where you know that your ideal client is hanging about because you've got children. And that's exactly what it does, because the subconscious doesn't want you to be getting out there and expanding yourself. And so it creates this story, and it's this little vicious cycle that goes round. Now, the way that I was able to break free from it was I learnt resilience. Now, resilience is my superpower. Like, it takes a lot for me to be knocked down. I am so good at not attaching my self-worth to my business. It is unreal. I'm so good at creating a system in my business and then maybe it not working and it not being about me. I'm like, it's nothing to do with me. I'm doing everything right. I'm showing up how I should be, but it's about the system. So creating resilience is a very, very key trait that you have to grow. You have to create and you have to learn in your business. And that is what will stop you doing the whole blame game. Because when we blame something on somebody else, it becomes a them problem and it doesn't become an us problem. Now, if you have spent years in corporate or in a personal situation where your input and all of the work and the effort that you put in didn't change the outcome, something you're going to develop is called learned helplessness. And that is not a good trait to have when you're trying to be resilient or you're trying to learn resilience. Because what it is where you start to believe that your efforts don't correlate with results. So when you go into becoming an entrepreneur and having your own business, you're going to carry that subconscious pattern. And that is going to really weaken your power and your ability to be resilient. And so therefore, you're going to start doing the blame game too. Well, it's all about me and that I can't do this. And, I've put all this effort in and nothing happens. Again, you're turning the blame on you. You're playing the victim. So I want you to think about in your life where you have had situations that have had an impact, but where they are now still controlling your current reality. So I want you to have like a little boundaries audit. So I want you to think about the circumstances that you are experiencing now. Why are they still happening? Is it that maybe you've got lack of boundaries? So maybe you need to learn to start saying no. Maybe you need to create social obligations so they can start creating space for your new reality. And also, if you find that your reality is quite stagnant and you're not making any change, like you know that you want to do something different, you know you want to be somebody different, you know you want to go somewhere and build something and have something different in your life, but yet you're still kind of the same person that you've always been before, have a look at the 5 people that you spend most of the time with and think about it. Are they fueling your excuses or are they helping you grow? Now, when I did this a little while ago, it was so evident that the 5 people that I spend most of my time with weren't fueling my success, but not in a bad way. It's just that they're not that type of people, which is fine. But when I got myself in the world of female entrepreneurs and I made the effort to constantly go to networking events and mix with those people, my evolution was fast. My resilience grew even more, my confidence expanded, and my life completely changed in so many different ways. So have a think who you're hanging around with, who you spend most of your time with, and if they aren't supportive of the person that you want to be, have a think about who you need to start seeing, what world you need to start getting in, what memberships do you need to start subscribing to that are going to kind of get your foot in the door with the kind of people that you need to spend your time with. And another thing which I very strongly believe as well is, what are you allowing your subconscious mind to absorb? So if you are in a situation where you feel that it's because of something that's happened in the past and you're not making changes to do something different to improve it, think about what you're allowing your subconscious mind to listen to. So what language are you saying to yourself as well? That's another important thing. But what stories are you hearing? So if we have been in a situation, and I can't even think of an example right now. So if we have been through something that's quite negative, we unconsciously like to fuel ourselves with stories around that same subject. So if you've had like a bad relationship, you will be drawn to be reading news articles and watching things online or listening to podcasts that are around negative relationships, because that's how the brain's wired. So we need to break that cycle. We need to cut that cord, and we need to start feeding our subconscious mind with positive things, or things that we want to, that are going to support the person that we want to be and the growth that we want to have. So just have a think about what you're allowing to go into your mind, because that's something that people don't really realize, and how much it is having an effect on them. So flip it. If you're watching something, I don't know, I can't even think of an example. If you're watching something about a situation that's very similar to how you used to be, now try and find and access information, podcasts, etc., about people who are doing amazing things in their life and their businesses and making money, and start feeding your brain with that kind of stuff. Something that we are very bad at, but something I am bloody good at, and something that I teach my clients all the time, is not to allow trauma and situations that we've been through to be part of our identity. Allow setbacks, failures, losses to all not be about you, but to be about the system. So don't let that attack your self-worth. Don't blame yourself. Don't play the blame game to you. That's not how it's meant to be. So have a think about how you speak to yourself about setbacks and things that you've had in the past. Like, it's always me, I've always been like that. If you're saying those phrases to yourself, my friend, you've got to reword it, and you've got to stop that now. Stop this victim mentality, because you can make a change in your life. There is something, at least one small thing that you can do in your life to make it better. And blaming your circumstances, it's not a character flaw. It's just your brain created this habit. And yes, it's kept you safe, and that's fine. I'm very much a big believer, like, when you are breaking free from a limiting belief, you always have to thank it for it keeping you safe. But no thank you, I don't need you in my life anymore. I need you to bugger off, and I need to start thinking of something more positive. So start again thinking about the way you talk to yourself and what thoughts you're allowed to have in your mind as well. Now, a little exercise for you to start thinking about how you can view your current circumstances, and how you can start making a change, and how you can start doing something that is different to how it's always been. So the first thing I want you to do is grab a piece of paper, and on the left hand side, I just want you to list absolutely everything that is currently stressing you out. So whether you're worried about the interest rates at the bank, Maybe you didn't sign a lead. Maybe you've had like poorly children. Maybe you're exhausted. Anything like that. Just brain dump it all on this left side piece of the paper. Then I want you to draw 2 circles. I want you to draw a small circle that is inside a large one, okay? So the big large circle is all of the things from your list that you have absolutely no control over. And these are things like the weather, the economy, other people's opinions. Nothing that you can control at all. And then in the smaller circle, I want you to place the things from your list that you can change. So how you speak to yourself, how you think, what you can do with your money, how you invest, how you can put boundaries into your life, how you can say no, that kind of thing. And the idea is for you to start to take one item from your inner circle, so the things that you can change, and take action on it immediately. And this visual representation will show you how much actually you have power over, because you have a lot more power than you think you do. So when you pick each one and you take action on each one, what is going to happen is that you are going to start to create the life that you want, but very slowly, very intentionally, and in a way that feels comfortable for you. Because resilience really is simply just a practice of shrinking this big outer circle and understanding that there are things that you cannot control, that you have to let go of, and thinking more of all of the things that you can start to control and you can change. And when you do start making those changes, things are going to feel different. Things are going to look different. And you're going to have started to create a life that is not hooked into the past. It's not part of who you used to be. It's something new that you're creating. So I hope that makes sense. As I said, I love a visual representation. I think it's so good to get something from your head onto a piece of paper, because it makes you feel so much better. It just is such a great idea. If you're ever going around in your head, get sticky notes, get a piece of paper and just get it all out, because honestly, it's such a very cathartic exercise and the release is amazing. Anyway, it's half term. I'm going to go and give the kids their dinner, but I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've really enjoyed talking about it, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are as well. And if any of this resonates with you, or if any of this feels like motivating, I suppose, and if you're ready to start making the change, and if there's anything that you need, then let me know. So I have been working with a business coach, and we have together created a new offer which I'm putting out to you guys, which I'm so excited about. So we will have a 90-minute session together where we will talk about one area that is really holding you back at the moment. So this could be visibility in the business, like you want to show up on social media differently, but you can't. If you're worrying about what other people think about you, we can talk about it in the session. And then we're going to have a week on Voxer where you can speak to me about anything. So when we have that time together, it is expanding the growth from what we had in the 90-minute session, so that you not only start to clear what is going on for you, but you start to take action against the thing that has been stopping you this whole time. So drop me a message and I will send you the details. Alternatively, it is on my Instagram, but you can also DM me on Instagram and we can sit down and we can book a chat and have a call, and you can let me know what's going on for you, because this is what I want to happen for you. I want your current reality to constantly be something that you want to be in and something that you have created, rather than it be born from something that has happened to you in the past that you feel is holding you back. So thank you so much for listening and have a great evening. Bye.